Hey everyone, welcome to the Wednesday Wake Up with the Teach Better team. We are so excited to be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And shout out to those of you listening on Teach Better Talk podcast because we know you, we love you, and we love when you rate and do your little, you know what I'm saying, Jeff? Like the ratings where they do the stars.
Reviews? Rating and review? The reviews, yes.
I love the reviews. I think the podcast is like the biggest OG of the whole team. So if you're a podcast listener, like extra like pat on the back and high five to you. We are getting into our Wednesday wake up where we are drinking coffee and talking shop, getting you continuously ready for a really successful week ahead. We know a lot of you are in testing season or maybe just enjoying a few weeks leading up to spring break. We want to make sure that you are persevering not only through the week, but through the month. So we'll be right back. Morning, everyone. We are live for the Wednesday Wake Up with the Teach Better team. Jeff Gargas finally made it to the show. Hi, Jeff.
Finally made I wasn't here last week, huh?
I know, like you missed 1 week, and I'm like,
but I was here the week before without you. So
I know, but you weren't here last week. So should we introduce who you are? Because like maybe people don't know because you know you ditch out all the time.
My name's Jeff Gargas, and I am Rae's assistant.
Very true.
I'd like to note that I really enjoy that when you were talking about the review, you were doing this, which for those of you listening, I'm making like a writing like motion because Rae thinks you use a pencil or pen to write reviews on an Apple podcast. And I just enjoyed that. I knew what you were doing, but I just thought it was funny because that's what we do, right? We're like, when you write a review, even though we know it's this or this.
Well, I was going to say, like, then I started to like model the typing and I'm like, no, you're not. You're texting it on your phone and it's okay. It's okay.
If you could, if you have figured out a way to use a pen or pencil to write your review on a podcast, please let us know. That'd be awesome.
No, you can. So
you can with an Apple Pencil.
Oh God, I was gonna say that and you stole my answer.
No, it's because I'm assisting you. I'm your assistant. I'm trying to give you the answers.
Guys, I'm in the running for a new assistant. If anyone wants to submit their application, let me know.
I think we're ready for naps.
No, it's early, Jeff. We're waking up. It's March 15th. We just celebrated Pi Day, and it is 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern, ready for the day.
Hey, tomorrow's my dad's birthday. That's exciting.
Congratulations. Have you sent him a gift?
Sort of. In May, I am taking him to the PGA Championship. That's golf.
Yes, golf. So that counts in case you're curious.
Yes, it does. Yeah, so like that's but like I kind of gave it to him a while ago. So
wait, I was gonna say, are you gonna be that guy who like gives a gift?
Well, I might have something that goes along with that, but it's like not like a big. That's the thing.
I'm just saying, don't be that guy where you give a gift in January and then in like September you're like, well, remember in January I gave you that thing. Like
I've been reminding him every day. I call him. I'm like, hey, just so you know, I'm taking you to the PGA Championship in May, and he's like, it's November.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, just letting you know. Like on Christmas morning, I'm like, just letting you know.
Hey, do you see in the comments that someone said hashtag Team Rae? That's like really OG. If
we could keep the drinking down to a minimum this morning, that'd be great. Facebook user, getting a little out of control already.
No. Who is that?
Because your name's not showing up. I want to know who's gone to the dark side. That is old school, though. That's old school podcast.
Yeah, can we talk about where that came from? Because I feel like people have seen like hashtag Team Jeff, hashtag Team Rae, but like that's not really a thing.
It's love.
It comes
from Goop. That's who it comes from too, doesn't it? It was Neil that started the whole thing, wasn't it?
Okay, wait. First of all, can I just say inappropriately because we're live on the show, Neil, we need to text today and figure out our plan for Sunday because I think we're getting together.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, so
what's happening Sunday?
Well, because I'm like in Ohio on Sunday and Monday next week.
What are you doing in Ohio? Oh, that's right. You are. Oh, you're actually not going to be. You're going to be fairly, somewhat close to Neil.
I know. I'm trying to figure out.
Really, but
I need Neil to like tell me if I'm close enough where we can hang out. Like that's
you're going to be like an hour-ish
Am I?
Yeah, you're like you're going like way southeast. And Neil's
We
kind of
gotta,
in the
yeah.
middle.
All I'm
You're not
saying,
far.
Neil,
You're far. You're close enough, I think. Where
if we met in the middle,
yeah, well, and because you're flying in and out of Columbus, I believe, so
I think so too.
you'll
That's why
be
I mentioned
yeah,
it.
so you'll be close that in that sense, like when you're coming in and out. So you could probably make
Yeah.
something happen.
So anyway, I'm
Yeah.
telling Neil if we, because I obviously this show doesn't matter. I'm using this as my reminder to-do list. So hey Neil, we got a text. I don't know what you were talking about beforehand, but I'm so
We
glad that I remembered
we
to tell Neil.
we came live this morning to tell Neil Gupta to make sure to text Ray. That
Yeah,
was our
exactly.
reason.
But if any of the rest
That's
of you want to text me, feel free. Morning messages, hello,
that's
questions. My cell phone is 847-721-5503.
that's the level of stalker that Ray is at now. Is where she can't get you to text her, we'll just go live until you jump in accidentally in the comments, and then we'll yell at you to text her. So that's where we're at.
It's true. Is that really stalking though? I feel like that's just using my resources.
It's not like if you think about it, actually, like he's watching us from a nameless, faceless viewer profile on our comment. I think he's stalking.
Are you telling us that Dr. Neil Gupta is being a stalker right now, being creepy? Because that's just not appropriate. We have a lot of people in the stream that are then being creepy, according to the Teach Better family.
It's a problem that Neil and I have discussed, but he doesn't seem to be getting. No, I'm just joking.
Shame on you, Jeff. He's the coolest guy in the world.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know Dr. Neil Gupta, he's legitimately not only a really awesome person I'm excited to hang out with, but a part of our speakers network, a phenomenal educator, educational leader, doing incredible things. I feel like every day he picks up a new project to like change the face of education. So you can find all of his details and how to connect with him over at teachbetter.com/speakers network.
He's also the co-founder of Gupta Bourbon.
Oh yeah.
It's a bourbon company he and I are starting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it was Neil back when the Teach Better podcast was just getting going. I think it was. I could be wrong, but I believe like it was Neil that said something and led us down the path of wanting to like that we needed a team.
Yeah, so let's clarify.
We had the and so, somehow we got into where you had to choose.
Hold on.
Which was always awkward.
We have to start way farther back. Guys, Jeff and I hosted Teach Better Talk podcast, and that was like what we did. Like we didn't go live every day. Like the Teach Better team looked totally different. We were live on occasion for different things, but
typically just for mastery chat recaps at that point.
Right. But like the thing the Teach Better team did was host a podcast. And so it was Jeff and I.
Thing we did, but it was a thing we did. We did like, professional development work and stuff.
I know. I meant more like that's the medium we use.
That was all you and I did for the company. That was the only thing you and I did with any value for the company was to...
No, I'm saying it's what you and I did to connect with our community. Like that's how we built, like, how now we go live and we talk to you more like personally. Yeah. Like the podcast helped us then grow to do that.
So question, sorry for coughing, but everybody's here. When we did the podcast and we would interview people, we would typically do that all on Monday nights for about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, depending on the night. Almost always 2 hours, a lot of times 3.
It was a lot.
Is that better or worse than having to go live at 6 a.m. your time every Wednesday? Because you're also live most Sunday evenings as well. So technically you're about 2 hours of live time in there, give or take, but it's early morning on Wednesdays.
But it's not as bad as Daily Drop-In, which was every morning, Monday through Friday.
I'm not comparing that. That's a category all its own of craziness. I'm simply comparing waking up super early on Wednesdays versus a later night on Mondays.
Well, yeah, because even though we're talking all together right now, all of us in the chat and even on screen are half asleep. We're just like getting you ready for your morning.
So I'm sorry, which one's better?
Not being around you, Jeff.
But either one, you're around me. You don't get that's not an option.
Sunday.
Sunday's
the
best.
That
sailed a long time ago.
Sunday show is the best because typically you're not.
That's there. Not. That wasn't. I was. So this is better than the podcast.
Yeah, because the podcast was like I taught all day, and then I would immediately go home and get a snack, and then we would podcast all night. And I was loopy by the end of it.
Yeah, well, we were. Yeah, because I would quote unquote work all day and then podcast all night. I like the podcast though because we spent 3 hours and we were talking typically to 3 different people, like interviewing them, and learning and stuff. Here we don't, you and I, like, we don't learn anything. Like, we're talking and it's completely valueless and
Well, let's be
meaningless.
clear. I get to interview people on Sundays. So really this
That's
is a
true.
year loss. Like you're
Yeah, I'm definitely,
yeah. Morning,
yeah.
everyone.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's definitely me.
Happy Wednesday wake up. We're
Holy
glad you're
cow.
here.
Like there was like 9 comments that just popped in all at once. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Hey, everyone. If you are just popping in now, don't go back and re-listen
Yeah,
to
it's
what
cool.
you missed last 10 minutes.
You're
You're
good.
good.
We should talk about something better now.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
I have some ideas. Do you want to do I have some ideas for the teachable moment that I want you to share.
Well, I was going to share that I've been hanging out in schools a lot, but do you want to?
That's what I want to talk about. Can we? So let's hit the little video thing, and then we'll talk.
The video thing.
The video
Here
thing.
we go. 1, 2, 3. I know you're supposed to jump in.
No,
hold on.
You did not
hold
just
on.
stop me.
Hold on.
You just do.
Here's the deal. I have a thing I don't want to forget. I have a challenge for our community. Okay. I got it. Okay. Go ahead.
Welcome back to the Wednesday Wake Up with Teach Better Team. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And normally I'd be a little more excited right now, but Rae stole my thunder, so you get the light rain instead of the thunderous voice.
Do you want me to play the commercial again? So
no, it's too late. You already ruined it. It's fine.
Sorry.
Remember when you said it was my loss? This is you are. Yeah.
I just want to be clear. Do people in the comments really care that I interrupted you? Like, guys, if you're live with us, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Like, this is a Jeff thing.
I'm pretty sure it's thumbs up. I'm pretty sure at this point, anyone who's ever been to anything where Jeff and Rae are at before, just assume like that's going to happen one way or the other. One of us is going to ruin it for the other one. Anyway, one of the things that we attempt to do on Wednesdays is have some sort of teachable moment, something where we can share some sort of value, or we try to. And so that's what we're going to do now. You mentioned that you've been in school. You've been in a lot of schools recently.
Yeah, and it's not stopping.
Which I don't know that a lot of people realize is something that you do. I think a lot of them know that like we go out and we work with schools and stuff, but you do so many other things and so much around our marketing, branding, and being live and stuff like that. I don't think people realize that you also go to quite a few schools and work with a lot of teachers. Yeah. And actually this last like 7 to 8, 10 days, give or take, you've been out to several different districts.
I'm doing more this week and next week. So
that's right, which is why you're going to be in Ohio and why you're going to get to see Neil Gupta. No one's jealous or angry about that at all. I was wondering, and maybe you were going to go here because you brought up the fact that you were out. If you've had I know you've had a lot of conversations and a variety of different things with a whole bunch of different teachers. I wonder if you could pull away a lesson or a theme or a conversation or something about that from your recent visits to schools that we could talk through and maybe share, because everyone in the comments might not get to be with you in a room during professional development and asking questions. Does that make sense what I'm asking? It's very broad, so you can kind of go wherever you want with this.
No, there's been a super consistent theme. So like, I think this is a good direction. I will say, so we've been working with school districts like on a bunch of different topics. Like I know Chad's out all the time working with schools. Dave's out all the time working with schools. Katie, Josh, they all travel seemingly on a consistent basis, depending on their role, and are constantly doing professional development with schools, which truly is anything from like a training, but more in March, it's like facilitated discussions, Q&As, follow-ups. Like most of our trainings is like typically at the beginning of the year, beginning of the semester. March is like the fun PD where we are following up and like hanging out with people we've already fostered a relationship with. So maybe this is my favorite month to go to schools because I feel like I get to be more casual and actually spend time with people versus, like sharing information. But anyway, it's been on a bunch of stuff. The PD that I've been able to do over the last 10 days has been grid method assessment, standard-based grading work, identifying power standards. We talked about classroom management, and engagement is another one I'm doing coming up. So there's just a lot of big buckets we've been able to dive into. And I think it's interesting because regardless of what the PD's been the last few days, and I'm predicting when I'm in a school on Friday and in another school on Monday, it'll be the same thing, is educators coming to me to brainstorm with a number of different problems and being frustrated and not feeling like there's a solution to the problems they have because they're looking for one solution. And I don't want to dismiss the fact that we should always try and be effective and efficient with the solutions we come up with. But I think sometimes we need a reminder that solving the behavior problems or concerns we might have in our classroom looks like a really, really, really big undertaking. And there's a few educators I've talked to recently, a number of educators who are like, well, until I find the one solution that fixes all these problems, I feel stuck and I can't do anything. And I think a little bit of a check-in with each other to give ourselves the reminder that there isn't a one fix to the problems you're having with a student, with your lesson planning, with a parent, or with the stress of being a teacher. And so our suggestion, which I think has helped a lot with relieving the stress on educators' shoulders, is being okay with the fact that there's not one solution. So let's identify the one problem you want to solve, only one, work to get to the core of what the problem truly is. What are we trying to solve? Finding a solution to only that, having the expectation that that's the only thing we're looking at solving, implementing it, and then taking on the next hurdle. And I know that sounds almost like slow, like why can't there just be an easy fix? But there's not an easy fix. So we're just going to keep creating that stress and carrying that stress with us, versus if we chip away, day to day, hour by hour at these concerns, then it does have a massive impact. So sorry I spoke to that a lot, but that has been consistent, universal, and everyone I've spoken to.
Yeah, I think if there was an easy, this is so cliche, but if there was an easy fix, then it would be an easy job.
Well, and if there was an easy fix, we would be sharing it with you. You would already have the solution, and that's what I kept saying to these educators. I'm like, no matter who I'm working with, I'm like, you are a strong educator. You have stayed in this role, whether you're brand new this year or you've been in the field for 20 years. It's March. Like, you have a lot of information. You know what you're doing. You need to feel confident in yourself. If there was an easy fix, you would have already solved it. I promise you. Like, maybe not in August because we need to learn about our kids or XYZ. It's March. If there was an easy solution, you would have already solved it. So it's okay that now you need a brainstorm buddy or to take it a little bit smaller, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be a problem right at this moment.
Is there a chance that in our pursuit of the one fix to fix all my problems, that I'm potentially overlooking or running past whatever, some of those simple fixes that might actually be easy fixes to some problems?
100%. And that's actually the concern I'm finding is when for example, I was working with a math group and they were like, we need assessment work because our students aren't passing their assessments. And I'm like, okay, so let's identify standards, break down targets, and design really rigorous, strong, standard aligned assessments. And then it was like, well, the students aren't in the classroom anyway to take the assessments. And I'm like, okay, so that also is a problem, but designing really good assessments isn't going to fix them coming to class. So if you design really strong assessments, then when they are there, you'll be able to help them and evaluate them and give them really good feedback, which is a huge plus. And that might, in some way, allow them to feel more confident and eager to come to your class. Like, maybe there's a minute element of designing strong assessments that are aligned to standards that might help with student attendance. But the reality is those are two completely separate problems, both of which should be problem solved, have solutions, we have ideas, but we don't want to create this expectation that by doing one thing, we're solving everything, and then we're disappointed when it doesn't happen. Versus a solution to attendance could be a completely different thing. And now students come to your classroom, you still don't have strong aligned assessments.
Yeah.
But again, different solutions.
Yeah. And to your point, like creating the strong aligned assessments might not and probably won't solve the attendance problem. But for us to go, well, we still have the attendance problem, so let's throw out all the work we did or not take on the problem of aligning our assessments. Now, when they, like you said, when they get to class, now you still have that problem. So if you solve that one problem, set it aside, it's solved. Now go on to the next one. Okay, great.
Well, and to be honest, I don't mind which one you solve first. And I think the other reality is sometimes we need permission to start with the problem that we feel most confident with. Half the teachers we talk to will be like, I want to solve the assessment problem. The other half will be like, I can't look at standards. Can we please talk about attendance? Because that idea seems overwhelming. And the answer is yes to whatever one you want. Like, start with the easiest problem that causes the least amount of stress and anxiety for you, which I do believe is a personal preference. Give yourself permission to not tackle the big elephant and just slowly chip away at the process. I was thinking about this, Jeff, when we were brainstorming what we were going to talk about today. One of the things I wanted to talk about was my to-do list and like how I'm organizing it to be really efficient, because I just talked about that on Instagram. And I am really struggling because like no matter how I organize my to-do list, I'm always intimidated by it. So I've been organizing it by logistical and creative tasks. I've been numbering it. I've been rewriting it every day. I've not been rewriting it every day. Like no matter what I do, I'm intimidated by the list. And the reality is like the things on the list actually aren't that hard, but because there's so many, I like don't want to start. Like the stress is actually in getting started, not in the work that has to be done. Like it's not that hard to send an email, but when an email is one of 19 things I have to do before 7 a.m., I can't even write the email because I'm intimidated by it. And I think that that's another element of what we're talking about here is it's okay to have concerns, but if we take it one by one, that's hopefully trying to relieve some stress. But also, if you have things on your list that are easier for you, whether it be because you're interested in it or because it's quick, like whatever it is, start with those and give yourself permission to not feel bad about it. Like sometimes I like to start with tasks that will take me longer than the 2-second email I have to write because I get to be creative and that for whatever reason feels more approachable. And like, I don't want to feel shame in that anymore. It's okay that I want to start there, and why not take the win, right? Like take the win.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but in my experience, if you do it that way and you get those wins, when you get to those other things that were intimidating, by the time you get to them, if you've already knocked off 2, 5, 6, whatever of those other tasks, that task that was intimidating doesn't feel either as intimidating or intimidating at all, because you're like, I'm already on a roll. I'm feeling good. And I've already crossed off so many things. Like, this is easy now. I only have 3 more things today versus 19.
Yeah. Like, wow, I've been so accomplished. Yeah.
So it's so taking that's the same thing with your classroom, right? You might think this is the most important, most critical thing you do, but if you can knock off these 3 other little things that maybe come a little more, I'll say naturally, for lack of a better term, naturally, or maybe appeal to your creative side or your logistical side, however you go through things first. Now you're tackling a single problem or 3 instead of 38, right? Well, and so how can we knock off those little things to make the other things not feel quite as intimidating? So,
well, I know it sounds silly, but like Janelle just put in the comments, sometimes I put things on my list so I can cross something off right away. It helps. I know that, like, I feel like that's something that people have like made fun of, like, ha ha ha, you just wrote that down to cross it off. And so there's an element of me every time I do that, I'm like, okay, that's stupid. But to be honest, it totally helps to be able to write stuff down and get started. Because again, the problem isn't that we can't do what's on our to-do list. It's that it's intimidating to begin, which we see with students all the time. We help with transitions for students on a constant basis so that the act of starting isn't the reason they're not successful. And I know it sounds silly, but Janelle, I am totally leaning into that right now. I will write like 3 things on my to-do list I can cross off immediately just to feel good.
I literally wrote something down yesterday after I did it.
Yes, so you can be like,
no joke, so that I cross out. So this is crazy. I'm going to tie this to one of the a huge, extremely popular and successful and effective marketing and sales strategy is to give your customers quick wins.
Yeah, sure.
And if you look at video games, are the epitome of this. If you look at the way video games are created now, is earlier in the game. Well, actually, forever, not just now, but like really it focuses like earlier in the game. The first couple levels are fairly easy to beat because you want you to get wins because then you're going to keep playing and you learn along the way. It's the same thing like that. Give yourself those quick wins because you're going to be one. Yes, you're crossing things off, but also like you're going to be motivated. You're going to be in a better mood. You're going to get on that roll. It's 100%. 100% agree with it. Yes, don't feel silly about it. It's a good strategy.
Yeah,
it's crazy that we have to trick our mind with our mind, but like that's how dumb our brains are.
So when I'm like reflecting on the teachers I've worked with and the ones I will continue to work with later this week, I think it really comes down to like acknowledging that your job is hard, acknowledging that it's so difficult that it's not a time to like give yourself shame that you haven't done something, because there's always going to be more to do. So like, we got to quit like speaking to ourselves as if we should be able to fix everything on the planet right away with the snap of our fingers. And then acknowledging that it takes time to solve some of these problems, but you can do it. So just slowly chip away. And sometimes the first step after identifying the problem is going to somebody else to fix it. And that's also okay. Like, you do not need to have the answers to every problem. The fact that you can identify the problem means that somebody else can appropriately and efficiently and effectively help you solve it quickly. So I want to like ease teachers' stress. Like, I don't know. This has literally come up in every conversation I've had.
So slow down, give yourself permission to take care of some of the easy things to get yourself some wins, and write that stuff down and cross it out, whatever that means, or digitally check it, whatever.
Well, one of the things,
it's not silly.
One of the things could be watch Wednesday Wake Up, and then right now you can be like, done.
Cross it off. Boom. Done.
Yeah, you won't be able to have learned anything, but I'm glad that you're.
It's okay. It makes it easier.
Makes it easier.
All right. Can we highlight someone now?
Yes.
Can we do that? Okay.
So Jeff, I interrupted you last time. So are you gonna like kick off this commercial thingy, or?
Yeah, but if I don't do it right, it's your fault because I had it locked in for this last one. But now I'm
but
not confident.
You also didn't let me share what I was going to share. So can I share it at some point, maybe during the morning challenge?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you said it was a challenge for everyone. So yeah, that would be great.
Okay. So community first, community first, community first.
Okay, welcome back to your Wednesday Wake Up with the Teach Better team. We are still live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. We're having, I would say, a semi-productive conversation this morning. The last little bit was better than the first little bit, but we're gonna build off that win. To the quote in the comments that success builds success. I think the last moments were successful. We're going to continue on that by highlighting one of our community members. We love to do this because we love you all. And we have so many amazing people in our community, and we like to just kind of highlight them. Hopefully, if you are not connected with them, you'll connect with them. Hopefully, maybe it's an opportunity to try to connect with them and collaborate with them, or maybe they have some of those little answers to some of those problems that you're looking to solve. So
the person that we're highlighting today literally gives me new ideas every time I engage.
All the time. Yes. This gentleman is actually one of our most frequent guest bloggers, writes a lot on our website. That is Dr. Steven Weber. Actually, the opportunity to meet him, when did we met him in Chicago?
Was
it last year? It was last year.
Yeah, it was last March.
Good guy. Just fun and easy to talk to, but insightful all the time. And he writes a lot over at teachbetter.com. And his posts are some of our most viewed posts ever. And he just I think I literally just shared one yesterday that he just put out. So
I did too. That's so funny.
So you can find obviously a lot from Dr. Weber over at teachbetter.com. But you can also follow him at Curriculum Blog is his Twitter. He posts a lot of stuff on there. Obviously, it shares a lot of his thoughts there as well. He's in Arkansas.
Yes.
And he does a lot around as you can look on his profile there if you see it, like it does a lot around curriculum design and leadership and developing leaders, all K-12 stuff.
In his blogs, he has a good mix of like the strategy of like 4 quick tips or 3 quick tips.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does really structure his blog so they're easy to read. And on the flip side, he uses a ton of research. So I always feel like I have resources following if I'm interested in exploring more. So I love the way he structures his writing.
Yeah. You know how we've been talking the last time we talked about how you're not going to find that one thing to solve all your problems. Dr. Weber may be the one thing you need. So that he may completely contradict what we just talked about.
He's a step in the right direction.
He's definitely he's a great resource. Dr. Weber, we appreciate you and love that you continue to write with us. It's just awesome. So teachbetter.com for that, or at Curriculum Blog for you to connect with him. And
if you guys don't know, when you're reading our blogs, if you get to the very bottom, you can actually read about the author and connect with them like with the click of a button. So if you're looking to connect with him and have any issues, just go to his blog and scroll to the bottom. He'll be all there.
Yeah, typically, their social media of some sort is linked out there, and you can easily connect with them. So,
also, do you use the like tweetable link? Like, is that what you use when you share about a blog? Because I use that all of the time.
I don't. So what? I use Feedly. I don't know if you know Feedly. To pull in a whole bunch of different feeds of play. That's where I go to like find stuff and read, and a lot of times where I share from. So I share through Buffer. So I'm literally I have the post open and I just schedule it in. So like that's why I don't go that route. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll go there and just grab it, but then I might actually do it through Buffer. I don't know. But no, I don't typically do that. But you can if you're reading our blogs. They all have a tweet somewhere in there where you can just click the image and it'll pop open in a tweet for you with a quote typically pulled from the post. And yes, but no, I typically don't go that route. Just I do it, but
because when I'm reading, I typically like recognize if it's something that I'm enjoying, that other people might want to enjoy it, and it makes it really easy with that like tweetable. It's like embedded in the blog if you've been seeing it before, but all you do is click it. It's like 2 clicks. So it like sets up the tweet for you, and then you have to click to tweet it. I typically add a hashtag or whatever to it as well. And then I know that message that I thought was really valuable gets shared with other people in our community, my followers. So it's kind of fun.
I like it.
Are you up for a Monday challenge?
Did you say a Monday challenge?
Oh, are you up for a Wednesday challenge? Guys,
let's all right, let's hit the video and come back for our Thursday challenge.
Hey everyone,
welcome
we are back. Stop! No, we're here for
our Friday Fun Day live stream.
I hate you.
I want to be clear that on our script, my name is next to this section as well. I'm supposed to bring us back into our Friday Fun Day live stream.
No, it's Wednesday.
We're about to go through our Saturday challenge for you to get through the rest of your weekend.
It's Wednesday.
So anyway, I wanted to make sure to say Happy Pie Day. Tuesday's a great day.
I hate you. You're messing
glad
this
that we're
whole
live
thing
every Sunday night. Actually, that's accurate.
It's Wednesday.
Okay, it's Wednesday wake up. I'm sorry. Would you like to do this part? Do you want to do this part? Go ahead.
Here's the thing. You know how as a teacher, but also in everyday life, you have a place where you look to see like what time it is, right? So for me, right this moment on this live stream, it's the top of my computer, the top corner. And what I don't like about March is I keep seeing the M, like it says Wednesday, March 15th, 6:34 a.m. because I'm Central Time. And I keep scrolling quickly, like with my eyes, and I keep seeing M.
Monday.
I keep thinking it's Monday. I did this all day yesterday in meetings where I'd be in meetings and I'm like, wait, I thought it was Tuesday. And I'd be like, oh, it's Monday today. And I'm like, no, it is
Where are
Tuesday.
you seeing this?
Like the top corner of my computer.
Oh, see, so you, I don't, I think I might be weird that I do this. I always have like whatever I'm on, like I have it in full screen mode, and so it hides that.
Oh no, mine. I like to look because, well, the show is timed typically where we use the time to figure out how long we've been talking about certain segments. So I want the time, but next to the time it says Wed Mar 15.
Yeah, actually, so on my other screen it does show, so I see what you're talking about now. Yeah.
So I keep seeing the M.
But there's also a wed there, like a W. It's the first.
I'm missing it. I'm literally just scrolling up. I'm seeing the M, and I'm like, "Happy Monday, friends!" And it's like it's March. That's what.
Okay, if anybody has a solution to that, we'd like ideas on how to take care of that small problem. Right?
Not to be live. That's the solution.
All right, can we finish our Thursday show here and just
get them off Wednesday? You're stressing people out because it's early, and so they're gonna log on and be like, "It's Thursday. I missed a day. Where'd you conference?"
Oh, I missed a day. I forgot. How long did I sleep?
Exactly. I still think it's Monday.
I went to bed on Monday and it's suddenly Thursday.
Okay, my morning challenge has nothing to do with the takeaway of our lesson, so maybe you should do a challenge too. But friends, I did something that I'm finding so funny, and to be clear, I didn't actually do it. Somebody did it for me, but somebody took my phone and changed my wallpaper to be like pictures. So every hour the pictures change. But with the new iPhone, for those of you who are operating on the, I don't know, whatever the newest thing is, I don't know what you have to be able to do this, but you can like select certain faces of the people that show up on your home screen. So this person only selected like 3 faces. And so every single time I feel like I'm clicking on my phone, there's like a new picture that I forgot that I took with that person in it. So my challenge to all of you is like, give yourself some of those goofy things throughout the day to like bring a smile to your face. Cause the one right now is Mirren eating cake. And every time I look at my phone, it did, like literally all day yesterday, I was like, like that's funny. It's like some other dorky photo. But if you guys are going to do this, I think you should make sure to include Jeff and my face in your thing. So it can be like your kids, your dog, your spouse, and then
me and Rae. Oh, maybe that's why right there, because that would be hilarious. If you do that, please let us know. A screenshot would be very.
Or my other challenge is if you don't have a thing that will rotate, then just take a picture of me and Jeff and put that as your home screen for 24 hours and just see if that makes you giggle. Do you want to pose for a picture right now?
Yeah. Oh, I was. I'm sorry. I thought I was in my thinking, my thinking pose.
Yeah, that's good.
That's better than the one we did on 12 Hour Live.
Oh my God. The one we did 12 Hour Live where I was like, I see that everywhere. People
I know.
Truly screenshotted that and shared it. That was embarrassing. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great challenge. I think. Yeah. Well done, Rae.
Thanks. That's why I'm here.
Okay. So we should wrap this up so people can get on with their Friday. Okay. Weekend to you. Hope you have a good weekend.
Wait, no, it's Wednesday. This is not nice. Don't do like I literally was like, yeah, guys, have a good weekend. Bye.
Someone who watches or listens to this on the podcast like later, so a day that isn't Wednesday is gonna be so thrown off at this point. I love it. Okay, no, seriously,
you're creating stress in my chest.
We're done here. Go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Find something fun. I like the idea of putting something fun on your homepage. If it's Rae and I, awesome. If it's not, like dogs and kids and stuff are okay too.
No, just 24 hours.
And if we can help with anything, please let us know. Reach out and have a good week.
Love you guys.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.